call it the Troubles?
It's just what it's referred to as.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, surely you could call anything the Troubles.
You could, but the conflict in Northern Ireland between Republicans and Unionists is specifically referred to as the Troubles. It's just a common euphemism for the violence.
Well, why don't they call the Israeli-Palestinian conflict the Troubles?
Because they don't.
Or call it something less vague, like the Northern Irish conflict.
I'm sure people also refer to it like that.
Well, who called it the Troubles?
No one, and everyone. It's just the term.
Well, I don't like it.
Well, nobody liked it, to be fair.
I didn't like this portrayal of the conflict either.
You weren't into it?
Well, everyone was raving about Jack O'Connell's performance, and quite frankly, I feel like he was barely in it.
He's the main character.
Sure, but he spends the majority of his time being dragged around by other people. There's little to no character development. He's not a very active protagonist.
I don't know, I kind of like that aspect of it. It's very clear that none of the British soldiers really want to get involved in the conflict, and Jack O'Connell plays a character who's very reserved and dragged into something that he can barely understand, let alone control.
I think that's true of the first half of the film, which is brilliantly done. The scene where the soldiers are first confronted by the pro-Republican civilians during an angry, violent police raid, the anger swells amongst them, and director Jan de Manche displays a strong grasp of tension and empathy here.
It's a powerful moment.
But I think he loses his grasp on that towards the end of the film. There's a lot of confusion, and the film starts to lack focus towards the end. I mean, is it a dramatic Civil War film, an analysis of the effects of finding yourself fighting your neighbour, or is it your bog-standard action thriller with little to say?
I think you're looking at it all wrong. 71 is predominantly an action thriller, but it's an action thriller with a lot to say. Not just about the Troubles, but about contemporary life in the United Kingdom.
Yeah?
Sure. After a referendum in Scotland, the rise of nationalist parties, and what looks to be a very contentious general election coming up, I think that now is a perfect time for a film like 71 to come out. It gives us an opportunity to reflect on the mistakes we've made as a nation in the past, and shows us the effect that nationalism has had on our own doorstep.
I suppose that's true.
But what's more, it's entertaining. It doesn't lay those messages on too thick, and it finds a good balance between drama and action.
I'm also not a big fan of the cinematography style. It's like it was shot by one of those crazy inflatable wavy arm things that you see outside car showrooms.
Nonsense. I'm a big fan of that style. I think it's important to have an active camera in these sort of claustrophobic, fast-paced situations. It adds a sense of realism to the film.
Well, maybe.
Ultimately, I think it's a really solid film. It shows sensitivity to its subject matter and shows an excellent sense of tempo. And it's amazing to think that Cook from Skins has become a real mark of quality in British cinema these days.
Skins, God. I'd forgotten about Skins. What a blight on our generation. I'd go as far to say it was slander on our generation.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
There's a lot of division in those days between the kids who liked Skins and the kids who hated it. You could kind of say that was the Troubles for us.
No, you couldn't, because that would be offensive.
God, you sound just like Effie.